Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about, well, not the Switch per se, but the Switch 2 and games that we may already have for the Switch 1 that are becoming Switch 2 games. So I have the entire slate of free upgrades, and then there are some paid upgrades as well. We're going to get into those today. If you like Nintendo content, physical media content, video games, movies, music, any of that kind of stuff, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. We talk all of those things here on this channel. We're going to get into this right after this intro. Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about these free upgrades that we're getting. They're giving us updates to 12 games that will utilize the Switch 2 hardware exclusively. So let's start off with the first one. The first one is going to be one that I always had a blast with, and that is ARMS. ARMS updates will include customized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. Frame rate optimized for Nintendo Switch 2 for smoother movement, even when playing 3 or more players. HDR support. Now that's something about this game. I always thought that this game would benefit from having 4K HDR. It is very colorful, like a lot of Nintendo games. Also, when you would play more than 2 player, the frame rate would get a little wonky. So I'm very glad that they're going to be adding in the frame rates on multiplayer. Like they even emphasize that. So that's very exciting about ARMS. The next one up is Big Brain Academy. Brain versus Brain. Now, this one, I was kind of surprised this was getting an update. What could you really update this game for? Well, let's look and see. So the update that this is getting is game share support. Up to 4 players can play in party mode, share locally, or share online via game chat. Now that makes a lot of sense for this game, because what else would you really be able to do for this in terms of like visuals or frame rate? I think the game sharing is probably the best case scenario for an upgrade. And this is probably a very good example of what game share can do. Because it's not a very taxing game, so it should be very easy to share across the internet and things like that. Next up, we have one of my favorite games. I've been playing it since the Wii U, and it just gets upgraded and updated all the way up. They ported it to the 3DS, they ported it to the Switch, and now they're going to bring some Switch 2 features to it. What is that? Captain Toad. And what upgrades are those going to be? Alright, the updates include visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. HDR support. They're also adding game share support. 2 people can play all the courses, and you can share locally or share online via game chat. So this one actually gets all of the, not all, but it gets like a nice mixture of free upgrades. You get to utilize the actual Switch 2 features of higher resolution. I'm sure this is going to look really good. Of course, colors popping on HDR and all of that, that is going to look really good. Like a lot of these games today that are adding HDR, I believe will look really good. Next up, we have one that I haven't yet played. I bought it because I thought that this was one that me and my kids would play a lot of, and then I got it and they never really showed any interest, and I kind of just forgot that it was sitting on the shelf. So much so that it is still sealed. And what is that we're talking about? Clubhouse Games. 51 worldwide classics. What would they really update for this? It's probably exactly what we think it is. Let's check it out. Game share support. Up to 4 players can play 34 of the 51 said games. And you can share locally or online via game chat. So that's pretty cool. That you can game share it, but that's pretty much exactly what I thought we'd get on this. And that is really neat. If you have games where you want to use the whole screen, you can just game share it with somebody with a Switch 1 or even a Switch 2, and you guys get your whole screens for the game. So that is pretty neat. I will give it that. This is one that will be easy to a good easy one to test for over the internet. Next up is yet another game that I bought for the kids, and I think my daughter played maybe an hour or 2 of it, and it may have just been a little bit much for her. She was a little young when we got it. It's been a few years since it come out. Now I'm glad this is getting getting an update, but the update doesn't do too much for this one, and that's okay, because what it does is very helpful. And we're talking about Game Builder Garage. And let's talk about what update it gets in the Switch 2 console. The updates included are visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. It now also supports the Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. Now that is very neat for this one, because it already has the mouse controls. If you plug a mouse into your Switch 1 dock, you can use it on this. But when you start building very big worlds and big environments in this game, the text gets really small and harder to read. So having the improved visual quality will be very, very helpful for this one and all the small text that you get strung throughout the levels once your levels and worlds get bigger. Alright, and the next one we have up is one that I was very ecstatic to see on this list. It had a frame rate hiccup that kind of annoyed me, but I played through the whole game anyways, because it's one of my favorite all-time games updated on the Nintendo Switch 1. So now we get it on the Switch 2, and that's going to be The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. This was a beautiful upgrade for the Switch 1. Let's see if they can make it even more beautiful for the Switch 2. What do we have for the upgrades on this one? Updates included visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality and HDR support. Huh. I didn't see anything there about the frame rate. Now, this one, along with the next one we're going to talk about, we're always targeting a 60 for its frame rate. So I'm hoping that the Switch 2 just automatically upgrades and locks it at the 60 frames per second. And what's that next one we're talking about? Well, the next one we're talking about is a pseudo sequel to Link's Awakening, and that's going to be The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Now, I hadn't bought this game yet. This was one that I got when I knew that it was about to be upgraded for the Switch 2. I didn't get it because I heard that it had the same frame rate hiccup, and I just figured, hey, it's going to get an update on the Switch 2. Well, let's look and see what updates this one's offering for the Switch 2. Updates included visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality, HDR support. So, nothing about frame rate there. I'm just hoping that the Switch 2 locks these two Zelda games at the higher frame rate. Let's see. Alright, and the next one up is also another one that I've been playing since the days of the Wii U. Funny enough, This one was actually a Wii U launch title, and it was a main reason why I really wanted a Wii U on launch. And that's going to be New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So they're feeding us another Switch game. That was a Wii U game for the Switch 2. But I always thought this was very colorful and the graphics were very nice. So, what can they do to this one on the Switch 2 for an upgrade? Let's check it out. Updates included: visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. A 1440p, maybe upscaled to, 4K? I'm not really sure. They're not adding, so far, I've not seen any HDR support for the Wii U games. Right? Except for maybe Captain Toad? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? The next one up is a double hitter. It's 2 games, but they act as one because, well, every Pokemon game does that, or every generation does. And here we go. We got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, I pre-ordered this double pack because I wanted to get both of the new Pokemon games. I was very excited. My kids were very excited. Well, by the time we got around to unwrapping it for Christmas, I kind of just had all expectations shot down from all the YouTubers and people talking about how bad the game looked and ran. And my kids had already heard all that, so we lost a lot of our interest in playing this generation of Pokemon games. But they're getting an update for the Switch 2 that I feel like it was supposed to get on the Switch 1. So let's see what the $450 patch does for these Pokemon games. Updates included: visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. Frame rate improved for smoother movement on the Nintendo Switch 2. And both of these games say that exact same description verbatim. So they will fix, I believe, all of the issues that plagued this on release. Finally. I'm actually very excited to have a new Pokemon game to jump into. I'm kind of glad that I waited. It's kind of like having a Pokemon game at launch. So that's very exciting. And for the next one, we actually have yet another great Wii U game. Now, this came out a little further into the Wii U life cycle, but it was a lot of fun, and me and my family's been playing it for years because it's a multiplayer Mario game. This is the one that they introduced the kitty cat in, and that is Super Mario 3D World. But on the Switch, it has Bowser's Fury as well. Now, this is getting an update for the Switch 2. And this one's a little bit trickier because certain parts of this get updated in one way and certain parts get updated in another. Because this is technically 2 different games. Sort of. Let's get into it. So, the updates included: visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. Frame rate optimized for smoother movement on Nintendo Switch 2, including Bowser's Fury. HDR support for Bowser's Fury only. This is also going to support Game Share. Up to 4 people can play Super Mario 3D World. In Bowser's Fury, 2 people can play together with one player controlling Mario and the other controlling Bowser Jr. You can share locally or share online via game chat. So they're actually doing like everything, almost everything upgradable to this for free. Now, I've bought the game, a couple times now, Wii U, Switch, so getting it upgraded for the Switch 2 is just a nice little cherry on top of what is going to be a very exciting, very awesome console launch. Next up is our last of the free upgrades. Now, I don't believe these are all of the free upgrades. I think this is just the 12 they're launching with, and I believe we will have more later on down the pipeline. But we're getting our first 12 right now. And it ends with Super Mario Odyssey. Now, Super Mario Odyssey is getting updated in a few ways as well. Let's see what they are. Updates included visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. HDR support. 2 people can play together with one player controlling Mario and the other controlling Cappy. And you can share that locally or share online via game chat on the game share support. So, you know, that's a great bit of games. You know, that's a dozen games here we got that are getting free Nintendo Switch upgrades. These are ones that a lot of us already have in our collection because they're great games. Now, there's also some games that are getting paid upgrades as well. And the price of the upgrades for these next ones change dependent on the content added to the game. Now, this first one was also a Wii U game, but I bought a Switch for this game on day one. I was a big Wii U guy, and I bought the game on both systems day one. Never really played it on the Wii U. I got it for the Wii U strictly because I was a Wii U collector. And that's going to be The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, for this, we are getting full-on 4K support added to this, or at least an upscale 4K, but they're actually adding in new content to the app. So you have like your map mode, which basically brings back a Wii U feature. And this is going to be an update that costs $10. Or if you are an expansion pass online member, you will get this upgrade for free. So that's why I really wanted to start off with this one. And also, while we're at it, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This one is also getting a $10 upgrade pack as well. And that's because they both basically utilize the same features. They'll have better frame rate, higher resolution, faster load times, and they utilize a secondary map on the cell phone app to give you a little bit more interaction within the world. So these ones will be $10 upgrades, and they are available on launch as well. Now, within the launch window, we also get 2 other ones that they've announced as well that you may already have. And the first one coming out is going to come out a few days, about a week, I believe, after Donkey Kong Bonanza. So you get your Mario Kart, which is your family game. You get your solo experience and Donkey Kong, and then you're ramped up and ready to go for a new family experience. And that's going to be Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV. They are upgrading this one as well. This one will be a $20 upgrade because they are adding content above and beyond just the console upgrade for the higher visuals, frame rate, and game share and whatnot. So this will be one of those $20 upgrades. And the last game that they have announced so far within the launch window that will not give you a free upgrade, that will be a paid upgrade, is going to be Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now, my kids absolutely loved this game. We are grabbing that update for that $20. I may even buy that new Switch 2 cartridge just to have a native version of it on the Switch 2. But it's coming with a whole new story campaign and higher visuals, smoother frame rate, and I believe HDR support. But they are all, but this is another one of those $20 upgrades. So now that's all that I have on cartridge, but there are other instances. Say you own Hogwarts Legacy Digital, they're offering it into a $10 upgrade path, or if you own the Digital Deluxe Edition, it is they're offering you a $15 upgrade pack to the Switch 2 version. And the Switch 2 version of Hogwarts Legacy is a digital game card as is, so you need the internal space regardless. So if you just want the cartridge to say you have it, you can do that. But if you already own the game on the Switch 1 digital, it just upgrades for the $10 fee. So there are other companies doing that. Slowly but surely they are announcing those. I'm super hyped for the Switch 2. We are within 2 weeks of it coming out, you guys. Let me know down below what you guys think of the free upgrades, the paid upgrades. Are you getting excited for launch day? Are you bringing some of your Switch 1 games over to the Switch 2 to kind of buff out your launch experience and the titles? I know I am, I know my family is, and I know we are very excited for it. I hope you guys are too. Please, let's make some chatter down below in the comments section about where we think Nintendo might be going, what we're excited about for the Switch 2, and you know, what game you want to see from other platforms make it over to the Switch 2 now, because the console is very comparable to the PS5 and the series, the Xbox Series consoles now. Like always, you guys, if you've stuck around for this whole thing, I really do appreciate it. This is me trying to mix in a little bit of that video game content with my physical media content, so I really do appreciate all of my real ones just kind of sticking it in there. If you're new here, maybe you're a real one now and you just want to stick around. If so, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. If you haven't already liked this video, please do. And if you'd like, you can hit that join button down below and become a member like these wonderful people right here. I'd like to thank them for going above and beyond and just giving me a little bit of extra, and I'd like you guys to know that you can too if you would like to. But like always, that's not the only reason why I like to make my videos. I love making them to just talk about this stuff. I just got to give my members their shout out and let you guys know if you want a shout out in the video, that's how you get it too. And until next time, whether we're talking video games, we're talking movies, it doesn't matter. Just remember to always keep it physical.